Good morning, everybody. Happy Motivation Monday. This is Trainer Nick checking in with you guys. I hope you guys are all doing well on this Monday. Today is Monday. We are actually on February 1st now, so we have made it out of January into February. For those of you crazy kids in the stock market, last week, the end of January, there was an really outrageous week there, so we'll see where we're going into this week. But that should also in turn have a lot of impacts on our industry going forward. We've seen a lot of stuff going on in the news about our industry as well. So being talked about, it's free marketing, that's free advertising, so we're all about that. So good morning, happy Motivation Monday. This is Trainer Nick. It is February 1st. My quote of the morning here is the key to success is to focus on goals, not obstacles. I actually have that conversation with my sister a lot. Sometimes she can get overburdened by the obstacles that are in front of her. Sometimes she'll even take a little bit of time focusing on the obstacles that she already overcame and is letting those bog down her mind for whatever reason, right? And so sometimes, that was something that you overcame that helped you get to where you're going or where you're trying to get to. So all of it is shifting perspective there, okay? Focus on the goals, not the obstacles. All right, so let's get started here on this beautiful Monday morning. So first thing we'll do is a tip of the week. This week is a big tip. Hopefully you guys are already aware of the tip this week, but it's a big one. We'll hit on our sales shout outs. This week's topic is going to be talking about the rewards in building rapport with your clients. And a lot of you already know how special that is and how significant that is, but we're going to go driving that home. You know, we've for most of us, we had a really busy open enrollment there. And now we're about to jump into another one here. So it's going to go really, really important to making sure that you're learning how to build rapport quickly with these clients and then how to continue building that. And then we'll have the survey at the end, okay? So the big tip this week, guys, Biden has reopened open enrollment. So the ACA, the federal marketplace, healthcare.gov, has decided to reopen open enrollment. So February 15th to May 15th. It's going to be a little 3-month window. February, March, April, May. There's going to be a new open enrollment on healthcare.gov. So there's 36 states that utilize healthcare.gov. All of those states will be going through another open enrollment. The SEP is literally very vague. The SEP is coronavirus, is the SEP. No, your customer doesn't need to have had coronavirus before. They're just using coronavirus and the extreme urgency around it with the vaccine being out and everything as the excuse that nobody should not have health insurance at a federal level. And so they have reopened the marketplaces. So that's going to be big to have in your back pocket. Due to this, a lot of the state exchanges as well have opened up. So like California, where I live, they have already opened up. They just really never closed down their open enrollment, essentially, is what's happened. And so a lot of these states that don't follow the federal healthcare.gov one are just going to reopen as well. So look out for that. You're going to be seeing pretty much every state out there reopen the SEP or the ACA open enrollment with the SEP of coronavirus. And I mean, that should really be every state for the most part following trend of the federal marketplace there. So the state exchanges in specific, those ones you need to follow up with because, again, they get to make their own rules, but they should be following suit. The big thing is the federal ACA has opened it up, and so February 15th and May 15th, they will be accepting ACA SEPs for coronavirus. All right, my stats are a couple weeks behind, but these should still be new stats to you guys. So our leaders the week of January 14th. We had a lot of national general being written this week. So short term, it was close to 50-50 actually between NatGen and United. NatGen barely eked it out on that one, but short term was very close to 50-50. Limited med, this NGL Prime Care, I love it, and I mean you guys clearly do as well. It's still our leader in the limited med field. NatGen does have a pretty strong footprint with us as well there with the access plan, but NGL Prime Care is definitely the leader. Accident plan still tends to be NatGen Plan Enhancer, which is a phenomenal accident plan. I love it with the SIP. Critical illness, NatGen was the leader again. And dental, UHC Golden Rule was our top dental plan that we ended up writing this week. For our individual sales leaders, our short-term leader was Gregory Talley, followed by Jacob Gordon and Richard Banville. So great job this week, guys. Limited Med, Robert Swander and Katia Santa Maria. A couple names I see a lot on there. So congratulations to you guys with Limited Med. And then accident, we got Jeff Franzoni and we got Greg Talley again on there. So great job, all of you guys out there selling this week. If I don't see your name on the list, let's get it on there for next week. Overly excited about that. All right. So big thing this week, guys. We're going to go over rapport. And the rewards are in the rapport with our clients, right? And all of these things kind of play into rapport with your clients, right? But some of these we're going to take a little bit deeper, and some of these I'm really going to dive into for you, okay? So big thing here, making sure building rapport is big in your business and understanding just how deep this goes, okay? So the first piece of building rapport is making a connection with your client, right? Now, to make a connection, this one can be difficult, guys. I actually see a ton of agents. I have offices that I go to where they'll have team huddles in the morning, and they'll go over, they'll read out either motivational quotes or they'll read out little daily devotionals, right? That I have one office I go to that they literally do 25 jumping jacks before starting the day, right? It's getting your head ready, right? Getting yourself in the mindset. But this part's really important, is getting yourself ready to make a connection for the clients, because you genuinely have to care about your client to be able to build rapport, okay? You have to show empathy in here, okay? And a big part of that is taking time to listen. Like, you actually have to know when I'm on this call, I'm just here to let them tell me about their life a little bit. And you have to actually get a little bit excited about that. You have to get a little bit excited to learn about who is this person on the other end of the phone, right? You have to genuinely care. Now, one trick, if that's something that's difficult for you, because like for me, it's hit and miss on different days, right? Some days I love playing the game and I want to get to know you. I want to get to know your family. Some days I just don't have it. Let's be real, right? Some days I don't care to go into a half an hour conversation about your life and your family and all that. It changes, right? Your mindset changes. And so one trick in that can be also finding areas that make your heart happy to do your prospecting in, right? I'm from California, but I love me some Florida and I love me some Tennessee. Those are two of my favorite places to go visit, right? Nashville, it has my heart. So sometimes when I'm not really feeling it, when I don't have the extra kick in me, well, I'll call Tennessee, I'll call Nashville, I'll call Florida, right? I have a lot of friends in Florida. I have a lot of places I know and like in Florida. Also, being a Southern California boy, I was born and raised next to Disneyland, right? Florida has Disneyland. I'm cheating a little bit, but you're cheating to find these things that you have in common so that it is easier to actually care, right? The days that you might not have it in you, cheat a little bit, right? I love that so much. So sometimes it's not just about oh man, I've got to actually uncover everything there is to know about Montana right now. Well, no, if you don't have that in you today, pick a different market that you might already have a head start in, right? Because this is really important here. Relate and replicate, right? So the first is finding the way to relate to them, right? And so sometimes that can be as simple as, oh, we both know and like Disney. If you're from Orlando area and I'm born and raised 10 minutes from Disneyland in California, I'm pretty confident we're going to find something Disney to at least smile about, joke about, right? So that's the first thing with relating, right? How do you know each other? Were you already sent to them by a referral, right? Did somebody already refer you guys? Because if that's the way you already know each other, pretty simple, right? If not, what do you have in common with them, right? And that's really where you're trying to find. And then the replicate part that's even more important, guys, you've heard the mirror term, right? I mean, that's exactly what this is. You also need to mirror your client, okay? And I'll dive into this a little bit deeper on the next slide. But when you're mirroring your client, you've got to be the one to let them follow and set the tone, okay? Always let your client be the one to set the tone of that conversation. You can start the call happy, excited, energetic, depending on that first 30 seconds, what vibe you're getting from that client. Be ready to pivot quickly. And then searching for those shared interests. When they start talking about their life, let them talk about their kids. Listen intently. Do they have an animal in the background? Are you hearing a dog or a cat? Let them talk about it. Do their kids play sports? Did they play any sports? What do they do for fun, right? Search for shared interests. One, it's another way that you're going to be able to connect with them, right? But more importantly, when you find those shared interests, now they're going to feel connected to you. And so it's going to be much easier when you start making suggestions to the plans for their family, for their life. They know that you understand their life because you shared on some of those connections. Okay. Okay, this is huge, guys. Respect. RESPECT. Find out what it means. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I don't want to scare you guys off this call. I'm sorry. Respect is huge. So professionalism is preferred, right? This is something that I can actually have a real big issue with, you know? The hard thing with being professional, I like to keep everything light. Any of you that have attended my trainings, you know I joke around a little bit. I like to have a little bit of fun. And I kind of treat my phone calls similarly. I try to keep it lighthearted, but be very careful about that professionalism line, right? I don't want to say the first off-color joke, right? This is a huge rule for me, guys. Don't be the first to swear, right? Guys, anybody that knows me, I use a lot of colorful adjectives. I think they're powerful words, and so sometimes I let a few slip. You know, it's just normal for me. I'm not one of the people that gets offended by it. But the same rule goes for my trainings, as goes for your phone calls. No matter how loose you're sounding with that other person on their phone, maybe they sound super cool. This true story, guys, has happened to me. I was talking and this person was cool. We were having great conversation, really building rapport. And so I got a little bit free and I dropped the F word. Well, it turned out I hadn't gotten far enough into the conversation to find out that this was a pastor's wife I was talking to. Guys, I went ahead and I offended my customer or my potential customer that I didn't end up getting, right? So be cautious with this. Let your customer cuss first. Let them be the one to determine where that conversation is going to go. I personally, after burning that one, because I tend to lean to just not even allowing it to slip into my business. But if you're with a client that you know really well and they've crossed that line a few times, it can help to building rapport. They can let down their guard knowing you're cool, but always lean and err to the side of professionalism there, okay? And that's a big thing with respect. It's about respecting your client's culture. You don't know where they come from, what terminology they like to use, right? And every conversation is an opportunity. And that's that's respecting the game here now, right? That's respecting every person that you talk to, not judging a book by its cover, right? Guys, we are all guilty of this. I'm raising my hand right now because I know I'm just as guilty of this. But you get a lead and you look through every piece of information on that lead and you're trying to make the determination in your head, is this lead going to be able to buy what I'm about to sell? You know, is this lead even going to want to hear from me right now? And you are making this call in your head either while you're dialing or before you're dialing, right? We've all done it. Respect even goes there, guys. Respect the lead coming in, right? Every conversation is an opportunity. Maybe this person doesn't buy from you or doesn't buy the plan that you had envisioned, but maybe you guys hit it off so well because while you were uncovering, because you respected this conversation enough, you got far enough to find out that you guys actually do share something in common. I've gotten 30 minutes into a phone call before I was able to share my love of soccer with a potential client. He's actually a client now that's sent me tons of referrals, thankfully. And because of my love for soccer, we poured in his love for soccer. We actually got into a 3-hour phone call and a prospecting call. I don't expect most of you to do this. I actually wouldn't suggest most of you to do this. But this has now turned into a pipeline for me to get referrals because we hit it off with soccer. Now, he has a community of people. He's actually on 2 recreational adult soccer league teams. I actually build my book of business off of people that I speak the same language with, okay? But I would never have known that if I didn't allow the conversation to get that far, if I didn't respect the potential in that conversation and in that client, okay? So that's so important. This part, you guys have attended enough of my trainings to know I will repeat this one on every training. I will drive this one home on every training. This goes into customer service really big, but this also goes into building rapport. This goes into every aspect of your business, and it's the appreciation that you're going to show to your clients, right? And it's appreciation on every level, guys, every level. There's an appreciation for just who our customer is, right? And so literally being serious and having intent behind who is that client, taking good notes about every conversation. You don't know if this person is or isn't going to become a potential client just within the first 2 minutes, right? But be taking those notes. If they've dropped their child's name, you better not have them drop it again. You better know what that is. Write it down. Their dog's name. Take good notes about every single client. That goes a long way, and literally you'll see your mindset will switch, right? You have this genuine appreciation to want to get to know them, okay? And when you're literally attacking that phone call, like I want and need to get to know who you are, because you're ready to take notes and you're wanting to take notes on that, your client's going to know. Because you're not just looking for the next sentence to say, what's the next, how am I supposed to reply? No, I literally just want to get to know about you. Clients can feel that intent. They feel that. They sense that. That goes a long, long way. It's going to help your clients let their guard down, okay? This one's so big, guys. Thanking your client for their business. This goes after the sale, right? So first, I'll thank people all the time throughout the sale process. I'm thanking them just for giving me time to talk to them about this, for trusting me with their family's health insurance. There's a lot of stuff they're going to tell me and talk to me about that's private. I just appreciate you having enough trust in me to go over that. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. And then after they've gotten the sale done with you and they've chosen to do their business with you, you've got to thank them. You have to let them know how important it is to you and your business that they actually took time, not even took time, put their money into you, put their trust into you, right? And this is actually going to lead into next week. My girl Lisa is coming on next week, and she's actually going to talk to us a little bit about having that post-sale follow-up game. And so I won't dive too far into it, but we got to talk about when you're appreciating your client, that follow-up game is a great way to, one, be able to thank and appreciate your client, and two, be able to go a little bit further into the rapport with your client, right? Ask them about that thing you guys hit it off on, right? Let them know, let them remember, this is why you chose me. We're still friends here, right? And then also asking them for referrals, right? This is part of the follow-up game. And so Lisa's going to dive deep into that with us next week, okay? And so we'll just hit some final thoughts here for you guys. This one's one of my favorite ones because it's really, especially the newer you are in the industry, the more scared people are with this piece of information. And so when I tell you this, don't just close the call out and hang up on the Zoom on me, guys. Stick with me for a second here. Welcome the angry customers, okay? Welcome those angry vent sessions. I have so many people that are terrified of these sessions, right? That when they're hearing this, that I do not want to talk to that customer. I've gotten too many of these angry customers today. Guys, I love these. And actually, sometimes the best thing to do when you've triggered this out of a client is sometimes just go on mute. And then just make sure every, 30 seconds, every minute, you're just giving a check-in with the client that they know you're sort of, okay, no, I hear that. Oh my gosh. Just one of those little, just they know you're still there, but don't interrupt them. Let them keep venting. And I hope you're taking notes during this, right? Because this is how we're going to be able to fix their problems, right? It's giving you an opportunity to empathize with them. You're going to be able, in this vent session, you're going to be able to search for common ground, okay? Now, you should be doing this the whole call, but can you imagine an angry vent session? You've probably ran into a customer, or you yourself in health insurance have probably ran into a situation similar to them. You might have had a client that had this. So you can use this as a sales tool, and you can use this to let them know, hey, I had a client that had that, and this is how we fixed it, right? And then always ask for more business. Always, 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 always. This is the follow-up. This is during that first call, even when they've said, yes, I trust my business with you. Cool. They've signed. Ask for more business. Guys, you can't be afraid of this. You got them as a client. What are they going to do? Hang up on you? Say, no, I'm good? Always, always. You've already done the big thing in building rapport. If you've built that friendship, now you can ask for more business. Now you're going to also have people that all know Greg. We all share common ground on that, right? Do you also share this in common with Greg? Whatever it is, now you've got a list of 5 people to call that you all have rapport with as well. So huge, huge, huge. Rapport is so big in this industry, guys, and it is about making that 5-minute friend. So focus on that. Use this new open enrollment that's been put out in front of us, right? Take advantage of that. We have this new open enrollment from ACA. So make sure that you guys are aware of that and making sure your clients are aware of that if they need it. That's all for Motivation Monday, guys. This is Trainer Nick checking out. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and email training@ahcpsales.com. You can also call agency services at 877-228-8773. We appreciate the heck out of you guys. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.